forget all the cash flow conversations and all that kind of stuff right now. If you don't have good contracts, you don't have good billing systems, you don't have the ability to create work orders and have purchase orders and all of those things within your system, you will lose hold of what's going on with your company.
And you really just can't grow it. You won't know what's going on. You won't be able to tell how much money you've spent and how much money you've made. And it's just going to be a mess. So first of all, like Matt's saying, you got to have a system,
right? You got to have a contract signed. If you don't have a signed contract,
you have nothing.
You have nothing.
This episode is sponsored by OrangeQC.
Starting your own business is exciting, but let's be real. Getting paid can be confusing, stressful, and sometimes downright scary. You've done the work, but now comes the moment that can make or break your cash flow, billing your clients. How much do you charge? When do you send an invoice? And what if they don't pay on time? We're diving into 3 key things today: how to structure your billing so clients follow through, mistakes that are silently costing you money, and smart strategies to get paid on time without feeling uncomfortable. So stick around, because by the time this episode ends, billing will feel less like a headache and more like a tool to grow your business.
So Matt, we're here talking about billing today. I guess we need to start at the beginning. Like, what we see a lot is people don't even set up the billing once they get it the sale. They're like, cool, thanks for the keys, do the walkthrough, do all that stuff, start cleaning. And then you're like, I should probably get paid.
So let's just say this for all of you people who are out here running your business. Numbers are not just important. They're everything, right? If you don't know where your money's at, if you don't know how to bill, if you don't know when it's due, if you don't have what I'm going to talk about is the source documents that you need to have to be able to back up what your billing is, you could be the best cleaner in the world and you'll be out of business next month. That's just, numbers aren't just important. They're everything, right?
And you're sending your numbers to numbers people that are going to be paying you. So if you don't do it the way that they want it, they're not going to call you and say, hey, look, you didn't do it the way I wanted it. They're going to be like, you better get it right. And when you get it right, I'll pay you.
Yeah, so let's talk about the things that you've got to have, right? These are the things that you have to set up a good billing system. Well, number one is you got to have a billing system, right?
You got
to have QuickBooks. And you can bill out of QuickBooks. You can create proposals out of QuickBooks. You can email both of those out of QuickBooks and keep a record of those documents going out. You can also use a CRM to create proposals. But what you have to be able to do when it comes to a dispute with a client over billing is you have to have the source documents. You have to have ability to look at their contract and see what they're, or if you sign theirs, or look at your contract and say, here are the terms, right? You got to have a contract signed. If you don't have a signed contract,
you have nothing.
You have nothing. Zero.
And that's actually true, because if someone evaluated your company, you're like, I'm doing $100,000 a week.
Show me the source documents.
Some of your contracts.
So show me the source documents.
Yeah. And they're like, well, I don't have it, but here it is. Here's my bank account. That's not what I want.
No, they're going to ask for signed contracts that are current. They're going to ask for invoices that show that you're billing what the contract states. They're going to ask you for, if they want to, they're going to say, I need purchase orders. I need work orders. I need,
something showing you're doing the work.
All of this information, and what you've got to do to be really, really good at billing. I mean, forget all the cash flow conversations and all that kind of stuff right now. If you don't have this stuff in place, you are going to struggle. If you don't have good contracts, you don't have good billing systems, you don't have, the ability to create work orders and have purchase orders and all of those things within your system, you will lose hold of what's going on with your company.
And you really just can't grow it. You won't know what's going on. You won't be able to tell how much money you've spent and how much money you've made. And it's just going to be a mess. So first of all, like Matt's saying, you got to have a system. Now, like he's saying, QuickBooks is cheap. It's easy to use. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to have a PhD or a bachelor's degree to use QuickBooks.
It's bookkeeping.
I mean, it's numbers in, numbers out. Send an invoice to Jim at ABC Construction for $200.
So once you have all that stuff, right? Now it comes down to when should you bill? So if I start,
well, you need to make sure you have the name, service date. Yes. You need to have the contact at the company, because a lot of times if I go sell Matt a contract, he's going to sign it.
But I'm not the billing contact.
Yeah, maybe Jordan is the person that's writing my bill. So if I don't send it to Jordan's email, Matt's going to be like, this dude's something else, man.
Well, and
he's going to hit delete.
Well, or it's going to get stuck in their email box. And let's say that they're having issues with their own cash flow.
Yeah.
A general rule for all, and you should just live by this as a new business owner. Every company you work with is trying to hold on to every dollar for as long as possible. Every dollar. And the reason is the longer it's sitting in their bank account, the more interest they make. So why pay you early? They're not going to pay you early. Yeah. So if you give them an excuse to not pay you on time, they're going to take it. So if you send it to the wrong contact person, you are going to end up in that, like, well, you sent it to the wrong person.
Yeah. And that's the simple system we talk about, like when we did implementation in our other podcast, where we talk about operations and sales implementation. You can have the same thing here. When you get a sales rep or you have that, create a simple document that just says, name of the person, the date, the name of the company, the amount is due, how many days a week, and what payment method they would like to have.
Yeah. And
we've gotten these stupid contracts that, it's a 90-day net. We're like, no, with us, it's not.
Well, look, if somebody wants to do a 90-day term with us, then I'm like, that, look, you want to work with us and you want a 90-day term, then we're going to charge you 2% in addition per month for extended terms.
Yeah.
I'll take that money all day long. I mean, we'll find the money at 8% interest that we're paying over the year when
for that 90-day net.
Well, when we're making 12% for the entire year because we gave them preferential terms. Yeah. So you got to do the math on this and figure things out. Now, it's not always something that people can do because 24. My bad.
Sorry.
Oh, God, man. Thank you for being the mathematician around here. I suck. 24% versus 8%. Yeah. So it's a no-brainer, right?
Running a cleaning business means juggling a lot. Inspections, specialty services, keeping every site on point. That's why we use OrangeQC. It's a quality control platform that lets us track jobs, document results with photos, log chemical usage, and even send real-time reports, all from our phone. Want to see for yourself? Hit the link in the description for a 30-day free trial of OrangeQC. Thanks OrangeQC for sponsoring this episode and for building a tool that actually works.
So you really got to work on that. Now, the other thing when it comes to billing, you got to bill on time.
So tell them what on time is.
Okay,
because
so
if I work 30 days and on the 30th day,
you bill,
you
got a 30-day net.
So you really got a 60 because those fools are not going to pay you because you already worked 30. And then they're like, oh, you get it? I got a 30-day net because I got it on the 30th of this month.
Yeah.
So now I got a 30-day net from the 30th, not a 30-day net from the 1st.
Yeah. You have to bill. So if I start service on the 1st of September, then I'm going to bill on the 1st of September.
Yep.
And
like
I expect to be paid on October 1st. If I start services on September 12th, I'm going to send them an invoice on September 12th and prorate the month of September and expect payment on the 1st.
Yep.
Okay. So, and then
I'm going to send another bill on the 1st for the next month
for October. And this is where people, I've had a lot of questions from people, Greg and I both, when we're on lives or, just comments that people are asking like, well, how do I do this? Do I prorate or do I wait and bill them double? You have to prorate.
Because then after that, the billing is just the same.
It's the same every single month and it's predictable.
And if you're using something like QuickBooks, you can set it up where it's going to automatically just send it out first of the month. Or my ones that get sent out first of the month. You don't have to do it.
And I would highly recommend sending email and encouraging all of your clients to pay you through ACH. That's going to guarantee that the money's hitting your bank. You don't have to wait for snail mail to show up. For the chance that it's going to get lost in the mail,
or stolen.
Even if you have to, give them like, hey, we'll give you like, I hate giving discounts. In fact, it's not even necessary really because ACH.
It's a service provider. It's easier for them.
Yeah, it's
easy.
easy.
To write a check, and that is their discount.
And it's a warning sign. It's a red flag if they're like, I'm not paying through ACH. And like, okay, why not? Then most of the time the reason is because they're floating from month to month, right? So if they're willing to go on ACH. Great. We've had large clients that said that they could pay us early if we took a 3% discount.
Yeah.
And
it's like, no, we're good.
And we ended up finding, we that kind of got snuck in. And then, when we started looking at the numbers, we're like, holy moly, this is a lot of money. Well, they were smart. I mean, they were keeping, a huge amount of money,
by paying a little bit early.
Let's see if I can do the math. 36%.
Good job. He's usually the math guy.
I know.
What's going on?
I don't know. It's, it's one of those days for me. All right. So you need to make sure your invoices are abundantly clear. I'm going to make one very, very big recommendation, which is going to be some of the mistakes that people make when they start billing. If you don't have, if you do have like regular contract services, you already have signed agreements, everything's good, and you're billing every 30 days on the first to get it for the next 30 days. So on the 1st of September to get it on October 1st for September service. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You're always 30 days behind.
The mistake that I see happen a lot is that people will just get like, someone will come up to you, Greg, and be like, hey man, can you, I need you to do the floors. Okay. Yeah, not a problem.
Then you're not my customer.
No, customer.
Okay. Yeah.
That's going to cost $1,250. And the guy's like, yeah, that's cool. And then you bill $1,250. And you send it to the billing contact, and the billing contact's like, there is no source document
that says anyone said it was okay for you to do this extra work
that is going to match up this invoice to a signed proposal, to a work order, to a PO, to anything.
Everything you do has to have a signature or an email that says, yes, go ahead and do it.
Do not do work without a contract. Do not do work without a proposal signed.
Yep.
And an email is sufficient. An email is a legal instrument for approval. So if they say, yeah, go ahead and do it, and you say, okay, great, I'm taking this email as approval to, because then we can send over to the accounting department if necessary.
Yeah, because even
information.
Like it falls under like the legalese of like a quasi contract. You said you wanted it done. I did it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you owe it.
Yeah. So, and it's in the court of law. I mean, the emails hold a lot of water. So, that's perfectly fine, but do not do work by just talking to some guy that you're working with, a customer, and he's like, yeah, no problem, go ahead and do it.
And we've got franchisees that do that, and we're like,
you're not getting any money for it.
Get paid.
Yeah.
And because we've gone to the customers, like, I never told them to do that. I mentioned that it was dirty, and they just went on and did it.
Yeah. I've seen,
come on, guys.
I've seen even more nefarious things happen with customers taking advantage, of franchisees, not recently, but over the last 25 years, I've seen it. Where they're like, I'm not paying it because I didn't have, where's the signed proposal?
Yeah.
Where's the contract? I'm like, man. So do not do that. Always live by your source documents.
And the bigger the customer, the more they're going to be like, hey, send me a proposal.
Send me a proposal. I must sign it before you do it. And every once in a while, because they're in an emergency situation, you want to help them out. And so you go ahead and do the work like a flood or something like that. Just open your phone, type in an email in reference to the flood at suite, whatever. We're going to be doing this. This is going to be your minimum bid plus an hourly charge.
Are you good?
Are you good with this? Please acknowledge. Done. Boom. And then when you submit that over to your accounting, department, or if you're doing it yourself, you remember because you have a source document.
And then those proposals are due when?
Those proposals are due upon completion, but they usually put them into a 30-day.
They usually do.
Most of the time.
Attention cleaning business owners. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Introducing the OctoClean Media Community, your ultimate resource for growth, education, and connection. With our memberships, you gain exclusive access to a library of expert-led training, live group coaching sessions, and even one-on-one consulting with industry leaders. The benefits include community discussions, share your advice, and get answers directly from Matt, Greg, and myself. Coaching, transform your prospecting, bidding, operations, and marketing strategies with group coaching and one-on-one consulting options. 10-day challenges. Boost your leads and confidence in less than 2 weeks. Don't miss out on the opportunity to connect with like-minded professionals who understand your journey. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, the OctoClean Media community is here to guide you every step of the way. Visit octocleanmedia.com to join today and unlock your cleaning business's true potential.
All right. So let's not forget, you love Greg. He's a great guy, and he really likes it when you subscribe. I'm blown away when I look at the analytics, how many, and my son says this is really great. we look at the analytics, all right? And we have, I think 80% of the people who watch our stuff are not subscribers.
That's a lot, man.
And it, for real. So I'm like, just subscribe. Just subscribe.
It doesn't cost you nothing.
It doesn't cost you anything. All right. But it helps us to know what people like and so on.
Like Matt's saying, like, what do you like? Do you want how-to videos? What do you want? Help training your employee video? What do you just let us know what you want. We'll make it, because trust me.
We're just here to make you happy.
We're here for you.
We're here to make you happy. Except for that one guy. All right. Moving on. So getting paid faster without being awkward. Here's the deal when it comes to collections. It's your money. It's your money. And I go back to what I first started out with. Numbers aren't just important. They're everything, because you should be watching your money like a hawk, right? You should be looking at your AR every single week, sometimes depending on the size of your business, every day, getting in, looking at what your receivables are and saying who is, 30 days, who's 15, who's whatever, and get into emails, start doing, it's making phone calls, do whatever, because you need to get this money, because if you don't get it, then you're going to go into a cash flow situation. Now you're going to have to borrow money if you're able to, depending on the size of your company, right? Because banks don't lend to people who need money. They lend it to people who don't.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
They're going to get it back.
And the people who are going to lend you money when you need it and you are,
have to have it.
And have to have it.
30% interest.
30% interest, right? So cash is everything, right? And the best way to have cash flow is to have profit margin. Like, that's the bottom line when it comes to what we do. And do not be afraid to pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm calling you on invoice 1234 for X amount of dollars that was sent out. Want to see what the status is on that. No, don't call early, but call, like, if it's the first of the month, call and be like, hey, I'm just checking in on it.
And it's a simple one. Like, sometimes, especially with a new customer, and I'm checking in because they haven't paid. It's like, let's say it's getting the first of the month or close to or after, hey, Mr. Customer, this is Greg. You with OctoClean. I know sometimes I send it to the wrong person. I just want to verify that I did send it to it and that you actually got my invoice.
And that it didn't get caught in spam or something.
Well, I didn't. I'm glad you called. And that's something that if it's a new customer, you should probably do that 15 days after you send that out, just to make sure that you're in whatever, that they have to do a PO, what they have to do, or, you know what, I never even heard of this. I don't know what's going on. Let me find out more for you. Okay, great. I'll send you an email. Be smart, get in front of it before it becomes a problem with your new customers. And then if it's, and I'll share something I work with Aaron, if you don't mind, on a real story. Aaron had a customer, and this guy out in Virginia that I am consulting with on our media side. This customer, he's cleaned for them for almost 60 days and hasn't got paid.
Yeah.
So he and I talked. I'm like, well, what are you doing? Well, I'm sending them emails. I'm calling them. They're not calling me back. I said, okay, this is the email I want you to send them. Since, I have not received payment, starting tomorrow, just give them a day. We're not going to clean your building until I receive payment. Ta-da. He found the email.
Money shows up.
And he got paid. So,
your best tool is your service.
Yeah.
Like they don't want trash piling up, but all right. Well, there's I hope a lot of good points in here. I just would like to, end this segment with, don't be afraid to ask for your money. And numbers aren't just important. They're everything, right? Those are the two things that you should be focused on. There's a lot of good info, I think, because we tend to get caught up in the work, but don't forget the work is getting your money. All right. So let's get into some questions. I'll start off with our first one, which we're unclear. Could be chat. We're trying to figure that out. This is called Chatbot Mel. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. It's just Mel. F4X6F compute. All right. Please do a video on what it's like to be an employee who works for somebody who doesn't provide proper supplies. If you can't just quit because you need your job, what are some things that you can do to make your job bearable? Dun, 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 dun. Let's set up a trap.
That is a difficult question. So you have an employer that's like, I'm not giving you cleaning chemical. I'm not giving you a vacuum.
But I can't quit.
But I can't quit. So what am I going to do? I guess if you can't quit, you probably need to go buy yourself a vacuum and some cleaning chemical and get to work.
Yeah.
I mean, things you can do legally. I mean,
not much.
not much, man. I mean, you can quit. That's your recourse there. It's the same thing. It's like, then I can't do this. I can't do the job if you're not going to give me anything.
If you are in fact a good to great employee, you have a new job. It's called interviewing.
Yeah, finding a different job.
Find a different job. I mean, I know you need your job, so don't quit until you find something else. But there is no right answer here except for that. I mean, if you don't like your boss, it's what they say, right?
I mean, maybe go to their boss if they have the boss, but it seems like this is the owner, and it's like, I'm not buying you anything, Matt. You're just gonna have to clean.
People don't leave bad companies; they leave
bad people,
bad bosses. That's it. So you should be finding a new job. All right. So
I don't think we could do a video on that, though.
I don't know if I can do. I mean, you can do a video on anything.
We could.
I don't. That would
like, hey, Matt.
That would not be good. Jack Halpin 8515. Hi, I'm starting my commercial cleaning business. How should I receive my first client? Well, you should receive your first client by putting in the work, which would be called prospecting. And
there's a 10-day prospecting challenge, and on
OctoClean Media.
It's legit though. Like, I share it with the people, and they're like, "Wow, this is really good." It does hold you accountable, and I think that's what a lot of new people in this business don't do. Is they're like, I went out and got 5 cards last Tuesday. They're still sitting on my nightstand.
Well,
come on, baby. And you're gonna go get a Ouija board or something and play with them. I don't know.
What's more important, knowledge or execution?
Definitely execution.
Bingo.
Yeah, you can prove
we can give you all the information in the world, and if you don't execute, there's nothing that can be done.
Like the horse to water thing.
Well, this is not this is a new info.
They're not even getting to the water.
All right. So if you found this episode helpful, make sure to drop a like and leave a comment on what you'd like to see next time. We appreciate your support as always and are excited for our next episode.
We are.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and head over to OctoClean Media and sign up as a member. So we will see you guys next time. Thanks again.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.